kindergarten. It is time for Learning with Little Tweet. It's Wacky Wednesday. So I have my kitty shirt on, which I love. I wear it even on days that are not Wacky Wednesday. But what makes this wacky is that I have some Great Wolf Lodge wolf ears. So I'm like a wolf cat, maybe, and then rainbow arms. So rainbow wolf cat, perhaps. This is our last Wacky Wednesday because like I told you yesterday, this is our last week of Learning with a Little Tweet, okay? I'm going to be kind of sad to not get to do Wacky Wednesday with you anymore, but if you want to be wacky today too, go for it. It's Wednesday, May 27th. We're working on day 40 lessons. Since it's day 40, what that means is this is the last lesson in this packet. You all are going to have to pick up new packets if you haven't done that already. And I'll say this again because it's a little confusing. So you're going to get a new packet. You can pick those up at school. They're on a table outside if you go to Huntersville. So we're going to do Learning with a Little Tweet with 2 of those lessons. So we're going to do Thursday and Friday, which are days 41 and 42. After that, the rest of the lessons, they go through June 9th, but those are optional for you. You can do your own learning or you can do the lessons on your own from the new packet, okay? But you do need the new packet for Thursday and Friday. You could also just print those at home. Like if you're only planning to do the Thursday and Friday lessons, you can print those at home. Okay, guys, here we go. Here's what we need. We Depend on Trees song, Things Made of Wood book, and then up here, this paper that says day 40, we're going to be filling this out at the top, and we do need our Cycle 23 word list as well. Now, today is a day that we're supposed to play Kaboom. So if you would like to play Kaboom, like if you love that game and you have someone who can play it with you, you'll need to get index cards or make little strips of paper, and you'll write your Cycle 23 words on there and put them in a container and play Kaboom, okay? If you don't want to play Kaboom today, I'm going to do a little game of What's Missing with you. And then if you have a whiteboard at home and a dry erase marker and some toilet paper, hopefully you have that, then you can practice your Cycle 23 words with your whiteboard. If you don't have a whiteboard, you can do it on just regular paper. Okay, so that's what we need. Let's go ahead and pause the video and get your materials. All right, so let's get started with literacy. Here is our learning target. I can describe the most important reason people should plant trees. All right, friends. So the directions for our lesson today says that we are going to re-sing our We Depend on Trees song and reread Things Made of Wood. And we're going to think about the most important thing that comes from trees. Now, remember, these 2 texts only give us a little bit of information about some of the important things about trees. We have learned a lot of other important things about trees too. So after we read these, we're going to do a little thinking and reflection, but you might think of some things that aren't even in these texts. But if you don't have any ideas, this is a great place to get some ideas about what the most important thing about trees is. Now, there's not one right answer, guys. This is an opinion. That just means you guys are deciding what you think the most important thing about trees is. Other people might have a different idea. Okay, here we go. We depend on trees. I think we should sing it this time. Will you all sing with me? Ready? We depend on trees. We depend on trees. We eat fruits and nuts and chocolates. We depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. Caterpillars depend on trees. They munch on leaves just as they please. Caterpillars depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. Deer depend on trees. They feed on bark in day or dark. Deer depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. Squirrels depend on trees. They scarf down seeds and nuts with ease. Squirrels depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. Birds depend on trees. They fly in line to eat and dine. Birds depend on trees. Okay, guys, now in that poem, or in that little song, just refresh your memory. Think of some of the important things, maybe the most important thing that you think that this talks about for why we need trees. Maybe it's because trees give us chocolate. What do you think? Is that the most important thing? Some people might think so. Why don't you go ahead and think about it for about 5 seconds, and then we're going to whisper it a little tweet. Interesting ideas. All right. A lot of this has to do with how people and animals depend on trees for food, right? But we also know that people and animals depend on trees for shelter as well. All right. And many, many other things. Okay. Now let's take a look at things made of wood. Wood comes from trees. Chairs can be made of wood. Puzzles can be made of wood. Houses can be made of wood. Bridges can be made of wood. Boats can be made of wood. Fences can be made of wood. Toys can be made of wood. All right, so we've already talked about or thought about what we think the most important thing that's made out of wood is. And remember, the main idea of this text is that a lot of important things are made out of wood, and wood comes from trees. So maybe you think that the most important thing about trees is that trees give us wood, and we use wood to make a lot of different things. So maybe that's your opinion. Now, we have talked in class through other texts too, how trees give us a lot of other things too. And some of you might think that how trees give us air is the most important thing about trees. So why don't you go ahead and think about what you know from these texts, but also from what you've learned at school and maybe even on your own, and think about what your opinion is about the most important thing that comes from trees. Whisper it to little tweet. A lot of you have different opinions, and that is okay. Good thinking. All right, let's take a look at day 40. I'm just noticing how crinkly my paper is. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what happened to it, but okay. Day 40. Finish the sentence. We should plant trees because blank. So you're going to take your idea about the most important thing that comes from trees, and you're going to use that information to complete this sentence. We should plant trees because blank. Now, we don't want to see a sentence that's like, we should plant trees because they are cool, or I like trees, or they are awesome, or we should plant trees because Little Tweet is the best bird in the whole entire world. That doesn't even make sense, although Little Tweet, we do think that about you. Your sentence should express your opinion about what the most important thing about trees is. So if you think that the most important thing that comes from trees is food for a lot of different creatures, then you might write, we should plant trees because trees give food to a lot of different people and animals, or a lot of different creatures. If you think the most important thing that comes from trees is wood, then you might say we should plant trees because we use wood to make a lot of things that we need to survive, right? Or if you think that the most important thing that comes from trees is air, you could say we should plant trees because trees provide all living things on Earth with air to breathe, and we need air to live, okay? Maybe you think the most important thing that comes from trees is just the fact that they provide shelter for animals and people, so you could write about that. So your sentence, however you finish this sentence, really needs to express what the most important thing about trees is, okay? We should plant trees because blank. Now, if you need some book spelling, The word trees is right here. It already has the word because for you. And you also might find some book spelling in your text, remember? Okay, why don't you go ahead and work on your sentence, and then actually I'll just go ahead and give you the rest of the directions. Down here it says draw and label a picture to match your sentence. So if you're writing about how trees give food to a lot of different creatures, you might draw a picture and label some different creatures eating some different foods that come from trees. Okay guys, go ahead, and when I'll tell you to pause the video in a minute, but don't forget, leave spaces between your words, and good writers reread their sentence to make sure it makes sense. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and complete this task. All right, everybody, now we're going to do our word work. You're going to need your Cycle 23 word list. And like I said, if you all want to make Kaboom cards and play Kaboom, you absolutely may. I'm going to do something a little bit different with you all. I'm going to write one of our words on this board. Let's do the word snake. And remember when we talked about the silent or magic E at the end? This E doesn't make any sounds, but it makes this A say its name. It says A instead of A. It's not sn-ack, snack. Snack is spelled totally differently. This is how you spell snack. Sn-ack. Nope, this is sn-ake, snake. All right, we are going to play What's Missing. So I'm going to erase a letter, and you all need to figure out which letter is missing. You can look at little tweet while I erase a letter. I'll start out pretty easy, and then I'll get hard. You ready? What's missing? Dun, 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 dun. That silent E is what's missing. All right, let's try again. Ooh, I'm going to do 2 letters this time. I'm making it tricky. What's missing? N-A, snake, snake. Excellent. Okay, now I'm gonna get even trickier. 2 letters, you ready? What's missing in the word snake? Snake. Is that a K or a C there? It's a K. Snake. Awesome. All right, we're just going to do, we only have time for one more word, guys. I wish we had time for more. This is the word smile. All right, you ready? Take a good look at it. Smile. And then that silent E doesn't say anything. Smile. All right, I'm going to erase a letter, and you guys are going to tell me what's missing. Ready? What's missing? It's that I, right? Smile. Okay, you ready? Now we're going to do 2 letters. What's missing? L, and then a Z. Is that how you spell smile? Nope. What's missing at the end? I can't hear anything. Smile. Oh, it's that silent E. You guys got it. Good job. All right, let's do, ooh, I'm going to make it really tricky. I'm going to erase 3 letters. You all are ready for it, though. Okay, ready? Ooh, we just have the first letter and the last letter. What's missing? Sm. We have an M. I. Smile. Smile. Awesome job, guys. That's all I have time for to play What's Missing with you. But guess what? You can use your Cycle 23 word list to play What's Missing on your own. If you have a family member who can play with you, like a parent or a sibling, then that would be really awesome to play with a family member. If you don't, just grab a learning buddy, like little Tweet, and you can be the teacher and you can teach your little learning buddy, and you can see if they can guess what's missing. Now, remember, another option is to play Kaboom. That's fine if you want to play Kaboom, or if you would prefer, you can just take your Cycle 23 word list and practice those words on a whiteboard. All right, awesome job, guys. You may now pause the video and practice your words.